And we're back with another Car Ride Convos. This is Coach Nicole. I've been talking to you about what's in and out of your control. Hot topic. Athletes are often reminded this, but how often do they actually sit down with someone and talk about what is in and what is out? And so I thought it'd be really interesting to go over just some things that could be in, could be out for athletes, and then also for parents, which we're going to go over today. Now, just quick definitions, reminders, things that are within your control, you have absolute, full influence over that thing. Things out of your control, there's two parts to it. The first one is you have absolutely no influence over that thing, let's say the weather. Or, and this is where it gets tricky, you have some influence, but other factors play a role in that thing. So last week we spoke about what is in and out of control for athletes. We covered a few different topics. We were only able to get through a few. But I listed out things and had you respond what you believe, and then I shared what I believe to be in and out based on what I had said. And so today we're going to go over parents. This is probably going to be pretty tough because I think as parents, there's so much desire to help, want to help, and see your athlete achieve their dreams, their desires, their success, and really wanting to do whatever you can to help them to do that. And so first one that I'm thinking of that's coming to mind is your athlete. Are they in or out of your control? They are out. They are out of your control. Now, I'm sure there's things within that, within your athlete that maybe you can control, like whether or not they go to practice, whether or not they play in a game. You know, let's say they're not staying up with their grades or whatever, and you've decided that they're not going to play, take it away from them, or perhaps, you know, they're, for whatever reason, maybe they're not feeling good and they want to play, but you make the ultimate decision that they're not going to. So that would be in your control. So there is things within your athlete that maybe you can control. But what about their performance? Is that in your control or out of your control? Their performance when they compete, that is out. And some of you may be like, oh, come on. But when you really think about this and how maybe you respond to their performances or speak about their performances after it's over, and even going into competition, you know, there's things that maybe we say and fixate on because we want to control it so badly. But at the end of the day, it's really truly up to them. How you communicate with your athlete, that is in your control. And when I say how you communicate, how you speak to them, how you hear them, right? Take in what they're saying and speak to them. How they respond to you and take in what you're saying is out of your control. That's on them and really up to them. So I'm trying to think. What about their coaches? In or out? That would be out of your control. They're going to make their own decisions based on how they want to run the team. But again, something that we can fixate on. Your athlete's playing time. This is actually out of your control and out of your athlete's control. Because at the end of the day, the coach makes the decision. The parents around you, so that being perhaps like your teammates or your athlete's teammates' parents, or perhaps the opponent's parents, out of your control. The refs, out of your control. Where they're going to end up after high school, out of your control as far as school, if they play or not, what college they will end up going to. And again, you have some influence, but at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to who offers them and also what they want, right? But your influence could be what you're saying to them, giving them your opinion based off of what you believe, which as parents we must do, right? That's part of being a parent, which is very important. So I think all in all, thinking about what's in and out of your control for being a parent and also for athletes, we do tend to fixate and get caught up in the things that are out of our control. We want to make it the way that we want to make it. We want it to change, and we want to determine what it'll be based on what we want to happen. And so it can really pull us away from a moment and distract us and cause us to overthink and obsess. And really, that's a moment where it's so important to notice when you're fixating or focusing on this out of your control and really try to shift to what's in your control. What can you do in this moment to have the best influence over the situation that is within your control. And so I leave you with that. I'm going to do a recap next week and just go over some big major points that I like to talk about with in and out of your control, but this is just something to keep in mind. A fun activity would be sitting down with your athlete and talking about what you all believe is in and out of your control. And I think your athlete, it's very surprising what they think, but also to hear your opinion on it as well, I think would be very insightful for them. So give it a try. Keep this in mind as you are watching your athletes compete and going to practice and making decisions for themselves, and also your investment within your athlete, just keeping that all in mind as far as what's in and out of your control. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Really quick, I'm going to start adding a link at the bottom of this email that you can click on. It's going to be a Google form. It'll be anonymous, and you can feel free to ask any questions, share any ideas or thoughts you have about what's being said, and I'd be happy to see that feedback and possibly answer those questions on some of the podcasts. So please feel free to click on that and share. Like I said, it'll be anonymous. I'm just going to put any feedback questions list here, and then you submit it and I will receive that. So, see that at the bottom of the email. Thanks.